Hello everyone, and welcome to the Rhino display modes tutorial. First of all, let's change the colors of my layers into something that's more pleasant. I'm going to quickly just select a few colors that are less vibrant. Remember, you can change the colors of your layers, which will affect the way your objects are displayed in your viewports. A viewport can render the model in different display modes. We can change that by right-clicking on your viewport tab and selecting the appropriate display mode. Right now I have it set at shaded, but let's say I want to switch it to wireframe. Wireframe is a mode which only shows the edges and the interior curves, called the isocurves, that define the surface. These are these intersecting lines on each face of your solid objects. These can be turned on or off using the option menu for your display modes. You can type in options, hit enter, and go down to your view, click on display modes. This will show a window with all your display modes. If you want to edit them, you have to maximize their display modes and select the ones you want to edit. In black, it will show the ones that are default, and in blue, it will show the ones that you made changes to. Let's go to wireframe by clicking on it, and let's turn isocurves off. Now you can see that the isocurves have disappeared. Here you can also control things like the edge thickness. For example, let's make that 3 points, which will make it thicker. I prefer it thin. And then click OK. If we go back to your tab and right-click on it, we can select another display mode, for example, shaded, which is the one I initially started with. This renders your geometry as something that's more solid. The curves, however, they stay as curves. Now let's try another one. Right-click, select ghosted. Ghosted is very similar to the shaded one. However, it's showing your faces as being something that's more transparent so you can see through them. And you can experiment with the other display modes in here. If you go back into options, enter your display modes. By clicking on this tab, showing the general display modes, you can actually create your own mode. Or you can copy one and modify it to your preference, and then save it as a separate display mode. And that will bring it up into this menu, which eventually will exist in this tab as well. So these ones that I have here at the bottom, like the rendered white background, is the ones that I custom made for my use. Or this one, which is a simple bright one. If you look around the options for each of these display modes, you can start modifying to get something like this. And if you ever make any mistakes, you can always just restore defaults. I'm going to click cancel. Within the same viewport, you can actually set specific display modes for specific objects. So let's say I want to be in a shaded display mode. However, I would like to have specific objects set as ghosted. I can hold down Shift and select the objects I want to display as ghosted. I think I have some groups of objects in here. Let's say it's actually all these surfaces in the middle and all the groups associated with it. I selected them, and now I can type in Set Object Display Mode, and then I hit Mode, M for Mode. This will bring up additional options, as you can see in my command bar up here. And then let's say that all of these that I have selected, I want them to be displayed as ghosted. So I'll click ghosted. And then I click outside my selection. And you'll see that only the objects that I have selected have become ghosted, while the rest are using the display mode of this viewport. If I want to go back, I can just press Ctrl Z, or I can select all my objects in my viewport by hitting Ctrl A, type in Set Object Display Mode, type in M for mode again, and then select here at the end of your list, Use View. This will use the display mode that is currently active in your viewport. So I'll click on that, and now all the objects are back to shaded mode. I can also select some of these groups here in the middle, set object display mode, M for mode, select W for wireframe, which is right here, hit enter, and now only those objects are displayed in wireframe mode. By carefully editing these, you can create nice visuals within your working space.